Hey y'all, Chef IrixGuy here, and within this video I want to answer a question that I get all the time, and that's, man, should I get a charcoal hickory smoker? Should I get an electric smoker? You know, what type of smoker should I get and why? So within this video, I'm going to, using the best of my abilities, I'm going to attempt to explain why I feel that electric smokers are the best. So there's several reasons. And there's several things, especially you, if you're shopping for a smoker, you know, maybe you're wanting to get into smoking barbecue, which is a wonderful hobby. I've been doing it over 30 years now. But, you know, and when I started, you didn't have the option of purchasing an electric smoker. So, of course, I started with charcoal and hickory. The thing now so there's a few things. When you're looking at a charcoal and hickory smoker, obviously you're probably not going to use hickory only unless you got a lot of hickory. Maybe you had a hickory tree fall and you chopped it up. All power to you, then no need for charcoal. But most people that use a charcoal smoker, they're going to have charcoal in there for the heat. And then they're going to use you know, either hickory chunks or maybe a smoker box with hickory chips and continue to replenish that throughout the smoke to get the you know, to get the hickory flavor in the meat they're smoking. The disadvantage today, and I guess you could say historically as well, with a charcoal / hickory smoker is that you're going to spend a lot more. You're going to spend a lot more because you're going to have, you know, if you're doing hickory only, you're going to have to, unless you've got free trees, which in that case, maybe you go for a charcoal / hickory smoker, and you just do hickory only and don't even mess with charcoal. But in most cases, you're going to have to buy bags of charcoal, which inevitably today has gotten to be expensive. You're going to have to continue to replenish that throughout the smoke because you've got to regulate the temperature. You know, if you're cooking low and slow at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to have to play with your air vents. If you've got a large smoker, you could do indirect smoking. You know, you could put the heat source in this side and the meat over there so it's not exposed to the high heat. You know, you want to smoke low and slow. So there's a lot more effort involved with a charcoal / hickory smoker. You know, you got the cost, you've got the effort of continuously regulating that temperature, and then you know, it's more expensive to operate because you're having to buy the charcoal, and it's you know, electric smoker is a different animal. Electric smoker uses electricity, and it's got a heating element inside of there, and you set the temperature, your desired temperature, and it's pretty much, except when you add additional wood chips. You know, when you add additional wood chips, they're going to flame up for just, you know, a little bit, and that's going to spike the heat a little bit. But it's pretty much going to maintain a consistent temp throughout the smoke. So that's a huge advantage that an electric smoker has over traditional charcoal and hickory smoker. You don't have to have as much experience. Now, obviously, I've smoked tons of barbecue using charcoal and hickory. I mean, I've been doing this for over 30 years, so I know how to smoke good barbecue using any sort of tool. But this just makes it so much easier. And it's not just easier, but it's less expensive. Let me show you this. And I've linked all this equipment. Expand this video's description and click the link there and you can find it all there. This is just a little storage box that I use for my hickory chips. Hickory chips are still somewhat affordable. I mean, I don't quote prices. You can find them linked within this video's description, but you can get a decent sized bag of hickory chips for probably a few dollars US. So I get a few of those bags, keep my box loaded. And the beauty of an electric smoker, it uses a minimal amount of hickory. So you get a small bag, which is currently a few dollars US, you're probably not even going to come close to using the small bag, even during an extended duration smoke such as this. I'm smoking an 8-pound butt. I'm smoking an 8-pound Boston butt right now, and that's going to take many hours, maybe 14, 15, 16 hours. But it's not going to use a lot of wood chips. So the cost, really the only cost, is the electricity and obviously the meat that you're smoking. So whether you're using an electrical smoker or an old school charcoal slash hickory smoker, you're still going to have the cost of the food that you're cooking in it. But this is just a small amount of wood chips and electricity. The electric charcoal smoker is probably a significant amount of charcoal, a significant amount of hickory, so you're probably going to find it's significantly more expensive to operate the charcoal slash hickory smoker. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I grew up using charcoal hickory smokers. Awesome. You can get amazing results. You can go get you a clean barrel and cut it in half. Make your own smoker. I mean, you can do that. And it does a great job. And I have nothing against using a charcoal slash hickory smoker. They're wonderful. But, I mean, ultimately, there's things you need for barbecue. You need that smoke, that hickory smoke, that applewood smoke, mesquite, whatever you're using. That's what you need. Because what you're doing is flavoring that meat with that wood smoke. So whether the wood smoke is coming from a grill that also has charcoal in it, or a smoker that also has charcoal in it, or if that wood smoke's coming from an electric smoker that has an electric heating element and then wood that's producing smoke, your meat is still getting assaulted by that wood smoke, and it's giving it that good barbecue flavor, that smoky barbecue flavor. But I like this more because I'm confident that I can maintain a consistent temperature throughout the smoke. I mean, again, as I mentioned, as I add additional wood chips throughout the smoke, there will be a small spike, but it's negligible, especially in comparison to a charcoal slash wood smoker, where there's going to be, whoa, there's a bee, man, where there's going to be significant fluctuations. You can't help it. When you're using charcoal and hickory, you can't help it. There's going to be significant temperature fluctuations throughout the smoke. Now, is that going to ruin the finished product? Probably not, unless there's something extreme that happens and you totally neglect to keep an eye on what's going on with your smoker. But yeah, this is, and I never want to say barbecue's idiot-proof. It does require skill. It requires patience. You know, if you're the type of person you're like, man, I want to get something to eat. Like, where are you going to go? Well, I'm going to go to this drive-through, dude. You know, if you're that type of person, you want to go to drive-through and eat fast and forget about it. You're not in the mindset for smoking barbecue. But if you're patient, if you enjoy excellent cuisine, amazing barbecue, you can't beat an electric smoker. And this one right here, there's so many mass-marketed smokers out there. You've seen the commercials. I don't want to give them a bad name. The reality is, a lot of them are probably good. But the sad reality is that a lot of the prices of those units is overly inflated because of all the marketing. You know, there's some of these that, it'll reload the wood chips for you. And then there's ones that say, oh, it uses these special pellets, man. You got to watch out for that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying they're not good. You know, if money's no issue for you, that's fine. You may be able to get the same, if not better, results from one of those. I mean, who knows? The reality is, when you deal with those electric smokers that have all of that fancy stuff, number one, it's more electronics to break over time. Number two, your initial cost of entry is a lot more. You can find this one linked within this video's description. Expand this video's description and click the link there. You'll find that it's very affordable. Actually so affordable that if this only lasted me for, say, a season, one season, which I'm going to get a lot more use out of that, I hope, but if it died after one season, my ROI, return on investment, would already be there, because I would have had X number of meals. Okay, it died, so what? I'll get another one. Whereas if you buy one of those expensive, bee or wasp, it's bee. If you buy one of those expensive and mass-marketed smokers that could cost upwards of $1,000 easily, if that thing goes belly up, you've got significant money you sunk into that. You know, a few $100 US for something like this versus a few thousand, for me it's a no-brainer. I get excellent meat, excellent smoked meat out of this. It's the flavor that counts. People aren't going to come out here and be like, dude, I don't want to eat your meat. Well, why not? You didn't spend a few $1,000s for a smoker, dude. No, I didn't. but I bet my meat tastes better than your meat. I throw it right back in their face because I know how to smoke, because I've been doing it for over 30 years. So, you know, this is a simple smoker, but this is the one that I would recommend. No hesitations whatsoever. It's even got the little thing on the side where you can conveniently replenish the wood chips as you go. Back to the pellet comment earlier. The wood pellets, you're going to find those are going to cost a lot more than your hickory chips. Hickory chips, prices changed. Expand this video's description. You can find them linked there. Hickory chips, typically a few dollars US a bag. Hickory pellets, typically a lot more expensive. So, you know, a lot of these electric smoker manufacturers, they want to lock you into their ecosystem. They want you to spend that extra money. You know, they're targeting someone that thinks they're fancy. You know, they've got this fancy mass market. And I'm not dropping the names of the smokers. You know who they are. If you watch TV or social media, you see the ads. But they target the people who, like, you know, they want people to come over and see that fancy mass marketed smoker and assume that they know how to cook. The reality is it could be good, it could be pitiful, it could be terrible. But those people, just because they saw that the person cooking had that, they assume, oh, that must be good. No. You get one of these, dude, you're gonna have, I mean, I'll toot my own horn here for a second, man. I don't go out to eat because it's hard to go out to eat and get better barbecue than I can smoke in my backyard here on this mountain. So, you know, why would I want to go out and spend more for an inferior product? You know, something to eat. So I've really enjoyed this. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, whoa, these bees, man, these wasps and everything are coming over. See, I put this up because I'm anticipating a rainstorm, and this being electric, see, I've got where my power cord goes in, it's elevated, and it's also covered by the umbrella. So, you know, something to be aware of, you wouldn't want to do this when it's wet because of the possibility of electrocution. So that's why I've got everything elevated and I've got, you know, this covered. So I can finish my smoke. This butt's going to take forever to smoke, which is what it should take. You don't rush this stuff. But definitely definitely go with electric smoker. Definitely get a wireless temperature probe. And I've linked the one like I use within this video's description. It's got 4 ports. If you're smoking different pieces of meat, you could stick a meat probe in each piece. You got up to 4. What I do right now, I've got 1 piece of meat, about the 8-pound butt. I've got a meat temp probe stuck in the middle of my butt. And that will continuously, I hear wildlife down there, that'll continuously monitor the internal meat temperature. And then I've got a second probe that's on the same rack as my butt, and it's monitoring the ambient temperature. Regardless of the brand of smoker, whether it's one like this master built that you can find linked within this video's description, or one of those mass marketed brands, what you're probably going to find is that the built-in ambient probe, if it has one, is probably not that accurate. You're going to want to use this. The good thing about this, it's also got an app, so I can walk around my house and I can monitor my ambient temperature as well as my meat temp. And if it hits the threshold, it'll alarm. It'll alert me. So, super convenient, super affordable, a must. And again, you notice I don't have a window. A lot of smokers have windows, especially a lot of the mass-marketed smokers. You actually don't want that because, number one, you shouldn't be opening this up and doing stuff with your meat. You should just have it, you know, have your water pan in there, have your appropriate amount of rub already on. I used to with charcoal smokers. I used to spritz them with 100% apple juice, and part of that was because I didn't want the meat to become too warm, because the temperature regulation, maintaining a consistent low and slow temp with charcoal and hickory, although doable, it's not 100% perfect. So I would use a squirt bottle with 100% apple juice to kind of counteract those spikes in temperature when I added additional charcoal and or hickory. But with this, I don't have any need. Again, when I add more chips, there's a negligible temperature jump. not enough to affect the quality of the finished product. So if you're on the fence, charcoal hickory smoker or electric smoker, unless you're off the grid and you don't have access to plug in something electric, I would steer you 100% towards electric smoker. And again, to take it to the next level, and I don't care if you're broke as pocus or if you're a multi-billionaire, regardless of your financial situation, I would steer you towards one of these. Doesn't have a window, nothing to taunt you while you're cooking. Doesn't have a window that you have to clean while it's still warm right after you smoke. What do you want to do after you've been smoking barbecue all day? You want to eat. You don't want to take that out and clean it off before you eat. No. This does not have a window to taunt you. It's easy to store. You know, I've got a cover. I've linked it within this video's description. Easy to cover up if you're storing it outside. You can also get legs and wheels. It's an optional add-on. I didn't. I wanted to keep it cheap. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can do. Hopefully I'll get many years out of this. I got this one this year, and I've already smoked so many great meals. Check out, subscribe, and check out my master built electric smoker video playlist and see for yourself. And check out all my old smoking videos. You'll see me smoking with vertical smokers, charcoal / hickory. You'll see me smoking with indirect, charcoal / hickory smokers. I've been around the block, man. I've been smoking barbecue for over 30 years. Long before YouTube came around. So, yeah, this is the one you want. So again, expand this video's description and click the link there. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm always looking for new video topics. I'm more than happy to try to post a video response. And, you know, smoking barbecue is not something that's an overnight process where you become an expert. You got to experiment, you got to have fun, and most importantly, you got to be patient, because barbecue is not a microwave. Barbecue is not a drive-through restaurant experience. Barbecue is not even just a cooking experience. Barbecue is you need to dedicate a day, and in some situations a day and a night and another day. I mean, it's not a rush process. So I hope this video helped, and again, just to recap, electric smoker is the way you want to go. There's no doubt, unless you don't have access to electricity, electric smoker is the way you want to go. And again, expand this video's description and click the link there, and you can find everything I talked about online. Most importantly, thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe. Ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Check out all of my existing videos, and stay tuned for thousands more videos soon. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.